Okay, so we'll get on to the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs, the doggies. Now, I'm going to go through their ins and outs first, and then we'll go talk about the issues they may have going forward. Now, outbound, big names, James Graham, Josh Reynolds, Cassiano, and a guy called Brad Abbey, who was a fringe player. He's gone to Canberra on a swap for Clay Priest. That's an incoming. But you've lost your captain, you've lost your playmaker, you've lost your interchange power forward. So you've lost. I don't know. I can understand James Graham had been there since 2012. He big ball carrier, big player, beast, great leader. He's gone to Penrith. Obviously, Penrith have offered him a nice little deal. Sam Cassiano, bit surprised with him going, but again, he commands big money. Same with Josh Reynolds. All three of them combine between them. That's a big cap hit for any team. They've all got different teams, but for the singular team, that's a massive amount of money to keep with them. Incoming, Aaron Woods, Kieran Foran, two big names. He got Clay Priest on that swap, as I mentioned, with Brad Abbey, and Rod Griffin, Papua New Guinea international. Obviously, that's the Sam Cassiano replacement. Now, Aaron Woods could not get the deal he wanted at West Tigers, so he's a lot of money there, and he is a leader. Kieran Foran, can he just avoid controversy? I mean, yes, he's had some health issues and he's had some injuries, and he's done a lot of club hopping the last couple of seasons, so hopefully he becomes a longer term player. He's a great player. He's underestimated, but he's obviously had that shoulder injury. Then he had his other issues off the field, personal issues. Didn't break any rules. He just had some personal issues which took their toll on him. Now he's hopped around a few clubs, so he hasn't stayed at the one club since he was at Manly. So he needs some stability, and I think here he could get the stability he really needs. But they're big cap hits. Now, the Morris twins obviously get injured a lot. I'll go into their injuries. Kerrod Holland signing a long-term deal. This is where it starts getting a little bit, will they meet the salary cap? Their CEO, the club CEO, has gone before the NRL board saying, yep, we're cap compliant. He's gone in front of the media saying they are cap compliant. They have a 30-team squad. That is a rather large squad to have. So either they're concerned about certain players not being fully fit and bringing up their New South Wales ITS kind of like cup players. So they're reserve and second grade players and junior grade players, and so look, you're in the squad, you're on the periphery, you're going to get a couple of games. They're obviously planning for State of Origin with Aaron Woods and David Clemmer now, both in the pack, going to be New South Wales Blues for the future, and they're going to obviously be with the New South Wales Blues setup unless they're injured or suspended. So they've obviously got contingencies and plan for when Queensland and New South Wales Origin players go away in that period in the middle of the season. They've got contingency for that. But a 30-man squad? They're obviously assuming that the Morris twins, for example, are going to not be able to play every game with injury. They're going to assume certain players such as Josh Reynolds, Kieran Foran, are going to be not always fit because they've had fit. So there's some issues there with the cap compliance. The fact that they have signed Kerrod Holland for another couple of years and extended his contract, that is a good move. He's a good young player. He can play several positions in the back line at centre, wing and fullback. He's a good goal kicker. He just needs that stability and maybe the coach have more faith in him. Des Hasler, it wasn't always, you put a lot of pressure on these silly dropouts that only go 20 metres. Great thinking outside the box, but to do it constantly, no teams are going to pick up on that and then it doesn't work. Yes, can't really underperform. They had some very bad patches. But I'm looking at how the ins and outs. They've lost some leaders, and it's whether Aaron Woods can stamp his authority as a leader with David Clemmer. Because Clemmer gets into a little bit sometimes of disciplinary issues on the pitch. He has been cited before, he has had suspensions before. So, and Kieran Foran, can he stay fit enough for long enough to replace Josh Reynolds and work with Moses Mbai? He's got to build that relationship very quickly. And Josh Reynolds was a cult figure at the club, so Kieran Foran's got big shoes to fill. All told, however, if they are cap compliant, they have got a reasonable sized squad. They've got good depth. They can quite happily challenge for finals footy. They did miss out, but other teams that were expected to do really well didn't live up to the billing. So going forward, as long as they're cap compliant and they stay reasonably fit and healthy, they've got good depth. So they've signed some good players. Yes, they've lost a bit. Could you say that Aaron Woods is better than James Graham? Well, looking at the World Cup final, yes. Aaron Woods, James Graham, about the same. They really are about the same. Just Aaron Woods is that bit younger, and so therefore can help the club progress for longer. Now, the Clay Priest Brad Abbey swap. Very shrewd move there. Very shrewd move. Brad Abbey is commanding less money. Clay Priest, obviously, Canberra were banking on the salary cap being higher for this upcoming season than it was. So they've suddenly got to go, panic. And I'll be doing a video on them shortly. I will be getting to them. And they are a very interesting case with some of their decisions they've done during the World Cup, assuming players were going to be fit and now they're not. And they got their business done early last year, which was great. They got the business done during the season, and then it turned out that the salary cap was actually lower than anticipated. So the NRL had set a rough estimate. They banked for that rough estimate, and then obviously it's now all gone haywire. So either players have to take a salary cut, or they have to offload. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will upload this now. If you are a Bulldogs fan, place your comments below. Please like and subscribe. And if you like the NRL and are waiting for your club, I will be doing a video on each club. I'm not going to go too in depth about every single player in each squad because that will make the videos like 30 minutes long, and I want to keep these a bit more brief and go into individual stories as the stories progress, such as a Mitchell Pearce or a Greg Inglis. So I can do an individual video on an individual player. But when it comes to the wider squad, I'm going to try and keep things not vague, but as simple as possible. And if in the comments people want me to do videos on certain players, I'm more than happy to spend longer on an individual player and what has gone right or wrong for that individual player. So, Jared Hayne, might do a video on him. I've already done one about his move from Titans to the Eels, and we've got to look into how's that broken league rules. But, we'll come to that when we get to Parramatta. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.